All right. So I want you to see these three circles. There's the blue circle, there's a red circle, and an orange circle. They all make up parts of me. And the blue circle means my identity. What I mean by that is this is how I see myself. Y'all, the lightning is getting very severe around here. And if we lose power, I'll figure it out. I'll make it up to you guys somehow. Okay. I promise. Okay. So identity, the blue circle is my identity. This is who I see myself as. This is who I want to be. It's complex, but it's how I see myself and how I want to be seen by you. They're both involved there in identity. Okay. The orange circle is my behaviors. This is what I actually do. I don't think for any of us, not in this life, maybe in the next, okay? When we go on to glory, it'll be different. But who we are and want to be does not 100% correspond to it. It's not 100% congruent with my behaviors, what I actually do. There are times when I do things that don't line up with who I am and want to be, with what my values are. Then in addition to these two parts of myself, my sense of identity, my actual behaviors, there's also my presentation, because I might show you some of my behaviors, but not all of my behaviors. And I might show you some of who I am, but not all of who I am. Generally speaking, all right, in our closest and most intimate relationships, we want these circles to be pretty tight. Again, in this world, they're not going to be perfect, but we want them pretty tight. So we want the overlap. But here is what happens. When my behaviors start to move away from my identity, those two circles begin to pull apart. This one will as well, but I'm going to talk about that one in a second. Okay. This causes pain and shame. And sometimes I'm aware of it, but sometimes I'll deny it, or I'll intellectualize it. I'll rationalize it. I'll dissociate from it. Again, think about this. As my sense of self and my behaviors drift apart, so what I'm doing does not align up with who I am or think I should be, my sense of values, as that's happening, pain goes up, shame goes up. Now I'm going to have to do something to defend it, to deal with it. Often what that is I'm going to deny the reality of it. Now, next thing is that as that's happening, the gap between my behavior and my presentation to others and my identity grows further. So my circles are coming apart. So who I believe I should be and most deeply maybe truly am and what my values are versus my behavior is coming apart. And now I've got this shame. So I can't show myself to you. I have to hide more of myself from you because I'm actually maybe in denial of my own behavior. So I'm hiding more of myself from me at the same time. And so these circles are drifting apart. My acting, my presentation that is not authentic, my acting increases as the presentation between my presentation and my behaviors, as those drift apart, it's also moving me further away from my identity. That's what I'm trying to say. I dissociate from myself. I hide from myself. I'm going to hide more from others. I hide more from others. I hide more from myself. I move further away from my true self. I move further from my true self, create a different reality for my actual behaviors. And so what ends up happening is that over time, these circles get further and further and further apart. And that is not just confusing for the people we're presenting ourselves to, it's confusing for us. We're deceiving ourselves because we cannot tolerate the pain of the incongruence between what we're doing and who we want to be, know we ought to be, and also who you believe I am, because my security of my relationship with you is based on my belief that you are going to stay with me. And if you're staying with a false presentation of me, right, then there is pain and threat in the thought of giving that up.